Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. I want to try to share a little bit of the confusion that I'm having with life. And it's stuff that I've seen and it makes no sense to me. Maybe you can kind of clarify what's going on. I've always known things were a little, how do you say, odd. And pretty much all my life, I just kind of took it for granted I was the odd one. I'm just, my brain is just kind of crooked and I don't see things normal. And I just kind of took it for granted that I was abnormal, I guess. I can't be this far off. My wife had 2 strokes. The second stroke, well, she had the first one, and then 2 years later, she had the second one. And the second one was massive. The first one wasn't good, but the second one was really bad. And I mean, it was so bad that the doctors had no problem telling me that she's going to be completely paralyzed. She will never be able to function again. I took her into the hospital at about 7:30 in the morning, and they ran their tests and all that. And by 10 o'clock, they were convinced that she'll never function again. And they started explaining to me all the details, and I'm not going to go into it. But like one of the things, it's going to be at least a month, maybe 2 months before she can eat anything solid. And it just continued like that. I mean, just one thing after another of all these things, and I'm not quite sure, I'm not, at the time I thought they were just preparing me for the reality. That's what I thought that they were doing. And so I asked them, I said, well, is it okay for me I do natural health, and if it was okay for me to work on them? And so they asked what I was going to do, and so they don't understand the Hoi Chi, so I wasn't going to try to explain that to them. So I told them acupuncture, and they said, yeah, we can go and do acupuncture as long as their blood pressure doesn't drop. Because of the stroke, she had a lot of she wasn't getting good circulation to the brain, and because blood vessels and stuff were all not working or something, whatever. And so I was 10 o'clock in the morning, and so during the daylight time, when people are in and out, I would work on her, doing acupuncture. And then I did other stuff, in the evenings when nobody was there to watch. And I said, well, when are we going to, what's going on? And for a stroke, what it is, you have inflammation in the brain. The brain swells. And I knew that was a problem. So I would go along with them on, I don't know nothing about swollen brains. That's the one thing about the medical. Medical is great when it comes to emergencies. I mean, nothing beats the modern medicine when it comes to emergencies. They really know what's going on when it comes to emergencies. So I knew they had to do their thing to get the swelling down on the heart. On the brain. And so, and I asked, well, when can we go? When can she leave the hospital? And then they said, well, she's got to be able to be able to walk, you know, before, you know, they could just do anything, you know, I mean, as well. I thought she said she's paralyzed. And she said, well, yes, that's why we're going to need assistance, and we're going to need all this other kind of stuff. So really there's no way until we get all this done that she'll be able to leave. And so I said, okay, no problem. And within 8 days, I had her eating solid food, and she was able to walk. Not real good, but she could stand and walk. I had her going, she had to walk to go to the bathroom, and I was with her the whole time she was in the hospital. And so we were able to leave in 8 days. And she was messed up. And so we ended up doing other treatments that I didn't do. I mean, other kinds of treatments. Oxygen chamber, you know, this type of stuff. Trying to get oxygen back into the brain, into the body as fast as possible. Did IVs, chelation, and all kinds of stuff. So it wasn't just me, it was just all kinds of stuff. But where I was really amazed was because of the rapid recovery, I thought, oh man, these people are going to want me there to help, because it was a stroke center. I mean, they did strokes. And so they would want to learn my techniques and stuff like that, what I did, because the doctors, the nurses, everybody was amazed, because day to day you could see improvement on her. And in 8 days, like I say, she was good enough they let me take her home. So I thought this would be, you know, really a good thing, you know, for everybody concerned. I mean, a lot of people have strokes, and so this would be something they want to know. But it wasn't. They didn't want anything to do with it. They didn't care what happened. They didn't do none of that stuff, other than they threatened me by saying that she has to have medicine. And so every month she'll come back for a blood test, so I make sure she takes her medicine. And then, you know, and without the medicine, then it would be bad, and they would have to take her. And so then that's why I said, whoa, time for me to go. So that's how we got down here. But that was something that really, really shook my world. I mean, that was, to me, was common sense. And that just bypassed their thinking. They had no idea what that was all about. And now I see the same thing. After that, that's when I realized it's not me that's from another world. Something is crazy that's going on. And so all my thoughts about how screwed up the government is, I started reevaluating it, and I realized that it's not, I wasn't wrong, the government is wrong. How we give them money in taxes, they waste it. There's so much corruption, they just, you know, deal that money out all over. They use that money to prepare to use force on us. I mean, I saw it before when our government would wage war on other countries, and I thought our government had people smarter than me in there, and so there's something that I didn't see that they knew about, and that's why we would go to war. Well, now we've been going to war for so many times in my life that, and I could see they weren't justifiable. And even down here, I mean, Guatemala. I mean, hey, we've bombed Guatemala twice since World War II. You know, and, you know, we already know what they did with Panama. You know, I mean, we invaded Panama. We do all kinds of weird stuff that makes no sense. I mean, I mean, you can use common sense and realize so much of this stuff is wrong. And the way they waste the money, they just keep making it. They realize they're killing the dollar. And when the dollar crashes, that's going to be the end of the U.S. But they're even preparing for the end of the U.S. So even our own government is in self-destruct mood, and they want to destroy not only its own government structure, but they want to destroy the American people. This is stuff that's just been beyond my imagination. I don't understand how it works. And the reason I don't is that these people are motivated by greed and power. And I don't know where they're getting it. I don't know what they're going to do with it. I don't know none of this stuff. And I really don't care. But what I do care is when they start messing with us. And, you know, why? The United States has been so great, has done so much for this world. And for the United States to destroy itself and its population, its people. I mean, they've destroyed our morals, they've destroyed our work ethics, they've destroyed everything good about the United States. And hey, if you all want to bitch and complain, I'd be more than happy to go face to face with you all on all this stuff. I mean, I've seen way too much. If you can explain a lot of this stuff to me, I guarantee I will change my way of thinking, because I've been trying to go along with this. I've been trying to tell myself there's got to be some good that's going to come out of this mess. But I see nothing but bad, and it keeps getting worse. I don't know. Even if it goes the way if it just stops just the way it is, and it continues just the way it is right now, we're bad. It's bad. But it continues to get worse, and everybody in government. Sorry if I've ruffled your feathers if you're some kind of government bureaucrat, but anybody in any government level, city, state, federal, it doesn't make any difference. You all are there for one reason, and that's money, security. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, if you would do your job without getting paid, and you're not going to get no benefits, that would be another story. If you thought that you were doing something honorable, you wouldn't need the money. And we're to that point, and I think by now everybody knows the government sector is paid more than the private sector. I think everybody's figured that out by now. And I mean, that's what's on the table. We see that's all screwed up like that on the table. That doesn't even include all the behind the scenes where, you know, cousins and nephews and all this kind of stuff have government contracts and stuff like that, or better yet, you know, spouses of government officials or board members and CEOs and crap like that. I mean, it just, you know, I mean, look, I mean, we try to, I mean, it's not like somebody comes into political office and does their thing, gets out. We have to run their whole damn family through the damn mess. You know what I mean? We did it with the Bushes. I mean, it's just recent now. The Bushes, the Clintons, and mark my words, we haven't seen the end of the Obamas. You know, this stuff is all going. We can't get these goddamn roaches out. It's a bad thing. There's no sense to it at all. It's all just ridiculous as can be. It makes no sense, and it's stupid. And we go along with it. Are we that insecure as American people? It used to be the American people were the strongest in the world. And to see this happening to our citizens right now, going to their knees, afraid to make decisions, afraid to say anything, it's just dreadful. I don't know what to say. This is Mike. NoStressMike.com.